Hey guys, welcome to episode 5 of our modern video series where we take a deck in the format and run it through some matches on Magic Online. Today we are playing Luis Scott Vargas's 4/5 color Bring to Light Gifts Ungiven deck. This deck is really complicated, but it's a lot of fun to play. It's been floating around Modern for a while. It's based on the interaction between Gifts Ungiven, searching up Unburial Rites, and then a gigantic fatty. You can just grab 2 cards and they both go directly into the graveyard, which lets you then cheat a big fatty into play. It's pretty sweet. The deck's awesome. The grindy nature of the deck lets it play a lot of cool one-ofs and an awesome sideboard filled with tools to ruin everybody's fun. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We'll break it down and run it through some matches and that kind of stuff. First, I'd like to thank Modern Nexus and Card Hoarder. Both Modern Nexus and Card Hoarder sponsor this video series. Modern Nexus hosts the videos both on their site and on their YouTube channel, so wherever you're watching this, make sure you check out the other half. And then Card Hoarder loans us all of these cards so we can play different decks in the format, and it's awesome. So check out Card Hoarder at www.cardhoarder.com. They have a really sweet deck price and upload tool where you can just like take any collection of cards and upload it into their thing, and it'll tell you exactly how much everything is worth, and you can then like buy it, and their delivery bots will deliver it to you on Magic Online. It's really quick, really fast. So that's that. We'll jump right in. I'd like to apologize. I am feeling a little under the weather. I'm kind of sick and I feel like my voice is going out, but hopefully it will hold for the duration of this video series. So we'll try and keep the sniffles to a minimum, but we'll jump in. 24 land, lots of fetches. Everything fetches green, so we can search up Basic Forest, and then our duels, we have 2 Breeding Pool, Hallowed Fountain, Overgrown Tomb, Stomping Ground, Watery Grave, Temple Garden. So that's 9 sources to fetch the red source and Stomping Ground to give us our red mana, so we can add 5 colors of mana, both with the Stomping Ground and our mana creatures, to cast Bring to Light for 5. This happens a lot when we want to like Bring to Light and immediately cast a Thragtusk for the life gain, or like a Baneslayer Angel, or a Murderous Cut, in case we need removal, that kind of thing. And that's where like the 5 color aspect of the deck comes in. But normally I found myself searching up Hallowed Fountain turn 1 if I don't have like a turn 1 mana creature or discard spell, followed by Forest, and then you can go like Hallowed Fountain into Forest, casting Sylvan Caryatid, and then search up like Basic Swamp from there, and you don't take a lot of damage. The games where we have like a turn 1 discard spell into a turn 2 Sylvan Caryatid, those can end up being a little harmful to our mana base, or to our life total, because we're pushed to either want to fetch basics, which can be a little rough if they kill our mana guys, or we're doing something similar to like Overgrown Tomb into like Watery Grave, or like Temple Garden into Watery Grave, that kind of thing. But really quick, we'll just go through the list. 6 discard spells, 4 Inquisition, alongside a Thoughtseize and a Raven's Crime. This is great for just like grinding our opponent out of threats more than answers. We just want to take things that are hard to deal with, like Tarmogoyf, things of that nature, and counter spells to let our Gifts Ungiven resolve. We're really not looking to protect what we're doing that often, just because as long as we're casting something, we're usually in a pretty good position. We're really just like trying to cobble together, find some way to gain value along the way. I haven't really been trying to like force through a specific game plan that often. Really just trying to like stay alive and find some way to generate some value, and the discard spells help with that. 6 mana creatures lets us accelerate the Gifts Ungiven out earlier, and then we'll get through the one-ofs in a little bit, but moving on to the core. 4 Gifts Ungiven, this is the engine that the deck is built around, alongside Bring to Light to give us more copies of Gifts Ungiven and pretty much everything else in our deck. The one-ofs, we have Unburial Rites alongside a Thragtusk, Baneslayer Angel, Elishnor, and Iona. These are our different fatties that we can get. Baneslayer Angel and Thragtusk we can just cast immediately with Bring to Light. Unburial Rites usually accompanies Elishnor and Iona in our Gifts Ungiven packages to go into the graveyard, and then we bring them back and do super awesome things like lock our opponent out of casting spells or make all their creatures die. Lingering Souls is excellent in Gifts Ungiven packages because either in the hand or the graveyard it's going to give us some value. Eternal Witness and Snapcaster are more of the same, along with Life from the Loam, which is awesome, both to fill up our graveyard with these synergies like milling over Lingering Souls and Burial Rites, or like sweet stuff to return with Eternal Witness, or just like the interaction between Life from the Loam and Raven's Crime, where we can strip apart an opponent's hand. The removal spells, again, diversified removal to make it easy to search up a bunch of removal spells with Gifts Ungiven, and also just to try and give us game against a few different things. Abrupt Decay hits a bunch of stuff in the format, but not like Delve Creatures. Path to Exile, Murderous Cut, sweepers like Damnation and Engineered Explosives give us some more game. Sultai Charm is a pretty cool tech for popping random artifacts and enchantments, helping us turn our poor hands into better hands by looting our draws, and then also destroying Delve Creatures, and like Jace Friend's Prodigy, pretty much everything. You can find a use for Sultai Charm, and it's great when we draw an Iona or an Elesh Norn in our hand and we want it in our graveyard. We can discard it with the Sultai Charm, so that's pretty good. And then Glendalendra Archmage is awesome. Just another value creature that can help us force through our spells. Moving on to the sideboard, I won't get into this too much because LSP did a great job breaking down the sideboard in his article on the Mothership, which we'll have a link to. So definitely go check that out. Right now I'm playing his exact 75. Once I get a few games under my belt, some experience with the deck, I might change it up a little bit. But right now this is what we're running. Everything's pretty much self-explanatory. Iolana Rhetoric is good against Storm, good against Burn, a couple other decks, Twin, Affinity. Not so much Affinity because I guess it's fine on the play. If we go like turn 1 Birds into Eidolon, then they're really slow with their development. But all of these spells can really find use in a variety of different matchups. It's really complex. Dispel and Negate are pretty straightforward. Everybody's familiar with those, but things like Agent of Erebos is good against it's fine against the Grixis control decks. I don't think I'm going to bring it in just because the Grixis control decks don't really care if you're disrupting their graveyard that much. They're really just trying to control the game, and they're using their graveyard as a resource. But things like Living End, and I'm sure there's some other graveyard decks that I'm forgetting that are important. Let's see if I can remember. The Gristlebrand deck is another one. And they're, even our deck. And then there's the Loam deck, like the Loam Pox deck that I think has been doing well recently. Stuff like that. Sigarda is pretty cool against control. It's great against Jund, stopping their Liliana of the Veil and just being like this big gigantic thing that gets in the way of, them trying to attack. Their Tarmogoyf can get through it eventually once Liliana's get in the graveyard and things like that, but Sigarda is a gigantic flying huge threat that's pretty cool. Timely Reinforcements for Burn, Lingering Souls for pretty much every mid-range deck, really good against control. Creeping Corrosion and Ancient Grudge for Affinity. You bring in Ancient Grudge against Tron also. And I think that covers pretty much everything. Spellskite's a good catch-all. Maybe Mind Sensor, for Tron, things like that. So, I think that's it. We'll jump into the matches and we'll see how we do. This deck, from the times that I've played with it before, it's always casting, it's always doing a lot of really fun things, but it's normally pretty clunky. I think Bring to Light will streamline the deck and give it, kind of level out its draws a little bit. There's been a lot of variance between, the super powerful draws and the weak draws. So I'm excited to see how it does. So we will hop into the rounds. See you guys in a little bit.